Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. I am so incredibly glad you're here today because we're tackling something that is just, well, it's incredibly frustrating. And honestly, it's something almost all of us have felt at one point or another. Right now, there are millions of hardworking people putting in 40, 50, maybe even 60 hours a week. You're grinding, you're making decent money, but then you look at your bank account at the end of the month and you just kind of think, wait, where did it all go? And that is a completely valid anxiety. You pay your rent or maybe your mortgage, you handle the utility bills, and somehow the rest of that hard-earned cash just vanishes. Poof. Most people look at this situation and instantly think they have an income problem. We tell ourselves, man, if I just made $10,000 more a year, I'd finally be totally fine. But the truth, for the vast majority of us, that's just a myth. We don't actually have an income problem. What we actually have is what I call the leaking bucket problem. Picture your income as water pouring into a bucket. It really doesn't matter how wide you open the faucet or how big of a raise you get if the bottom of your bucket is just absolutely covered in holes. These holes are your structural and psychological financial blind spots. And here's the fascinating thing. Our brains are literally wired to ignore small numbers. We just don't instinctively process a $5 charge as a threat to our livelihood. But these small, repetitive daily expenses are quietly draining your wealth. So we need to give your finances a clinical diagnosis to find these holes. So here is our roadmap for today's explainer. 1. The microtransaction lifestyle. 2. Subscription creep. 3. Lifestyle inflation. 4. Convenience taxes and debt. And 5. Your 4-step financial blueprint. We aren't just going to sit here and diagnose bad habits. We're giving you the actual tangible tools to fix them. All right, part 1. The microtransaction lifestyle and navigating the frictionless economy. We really have to start by acknowledging the exact environment we live in. The modern American economy is explicitly designed to make spending your money completely frictionless. Apple Pay, Tap to Pay, Amazon one-click ordering. Technology has essentially removed the physical pain of handing over cash. Because of this, we've completely normalized these small, repetitive expenses that feel totally harmless in isolation. It's that specialized iced coffee in the morning. It's the food delivery fee because, let's be honest, you didn't want to walk 2 blocks in the heat. Hey, we've all been there. Individually, you think it's just $5, no big deal, but your financial life doesn't happen in a vacuum. The math behind this carries a massive ouch factor. Think about a harmless $7 daily coffee habit. Just 5 days a week, that's $140 a month. That compounds into a massive $1,700 annual drain pouring straight out of your bucket. When you stack 4 or 5 of these microtransactions together, you're literally looking at hundreds of dollars a month vanishing into thin air. Money that could be invested, used to crush debt, or, hey, even fund an amazing vacation. Which brings us to part 2, subscription creep and the trap of modern ghost accounts. Remember a decade ago when you bought things once and you just owned them? Yeah, those days are gone. Today, everything is a monthly utility. And companies absolutely love this model because it relies on basic human psychology, specifically our sheer inertia. If you ask the average person what they spend on subscriptions, they usually guess way low, around $50 a month. But statistical studies show the actual number is bleeding well over $200 a month. That huge gap between expectation and reality, that is exactly where your wealth is leaking. Financial experts call these culprits ghost accounts. We're talking Netflix, Hulu, Disney+, Spotify. Oh, and maybe that premium gym membership you haven't visited since, January? Yeah, that one. Or a meal prep delivery box you rarely actually cook. These accounts silently drain your bank on a recurring schedule, often without you even noticing those little notifications on your phone. Okay, part 3, lifestyle inflation, which is also known as the I deserve it trap. This happens when you get a raise. Let's say you go from $50,000 to $70,000 a year. But instead of saving that extra 20 grand, your expenses instantly rise to meet your new income. You upgrade your apartment, you finance a nicer car, and suddenly you're just as stressed about money at $70,000 as you were at $50,000. We buy things we don't need with money we don't have to impress people we don't even like. Take a second and really let the weight of that truth sink in. This toxic consumer spending is so often driven by social validation. We tell ourselves, I work hard, I'm stressed out, I deserve this luxury. But using spending to cure work stress creates a vicious cycle. You end up having to keep a job you might even hate just to pay for the things that comfort you from working that job. Next up is part 4, convenience, taxes, and debt. And I'm going to be straight with you. These are the absolute most destructive leaks out there. Look, credit cards are phenomenal tools if you pay them in full. But the moment you carry a balance, you are trapped. With average US credit card interest rates hovering well over 20% right now, you are paying a massive premium on literally everything you buy. Buy a jacket on sale for $100, leave it on your card for a year. It actually costs you $120 minimum. And remember, credit card companies explicitly want you to only pay the minimum balance. That's exactly how they trap you in that compounding cycle. And right alongside that debt is the aggressive convenience tax. Because we're all so busy, we heavily overpay just to make life a little easier. Check out this breakdown. A meal that costs $15 at the restaurant counter easily doubles to $32 once you add app service fees, delivery fees, taxes, and tips on DoorDash or Uber Eats. If you do that just twice a week, you're paying a massive premium of over $130 a month simply for the luxury of not picking up your own food.
All right, finally, part 5, your 4-step financial blueprint. It is time to plug the leaks.
Take a deep breath. We are entirely done with the agonizing diagnosis part. Let's pivot our energy completely because honestly, you do not need to live like a monk to fix this. You just need to manage your money with intention. I highly encourage you to take mental notes or just grab a quick screenshot right now. This is your actionable 4-part path to financial peace: the 30-day audit, the subscription purge, the 48-hour rule, and automating your savings. Let's break these down. Step 1 is the 30-day financial audit. Look, you cannot fix what you cannot see. I want you to literally print out your bank statements and credit card bills from the last 90 days. Get a physical highlighter, yes, an actual highlighter, and go through them line by line. Highlight the leaks, the dining out, the random midnight Amazon purchases. I know taking this physical action sounds kind of painful, but the clarity it brings is incredibly freeing. Seeing the total physical dollar amount you spent on food delivery over 3 months, that's almost always the exact wake-up call you need to finally shift those habits. Step 2 is the subscription purge. Look at every single recurring payment. If you haven't used that service in the last 30 days, cancel it immediately. And here's a pro tip, a really great insider secret for the streaming platforms you actually do like. Just rotate them. Keep Netflix this month, binge your favorite shows, then cancel it. Next month, get HBO Max, binge that, then switch back. There is absolutely no reason to pay for 4 major platforms simultaneously when you can literally only watch one show at a time. Step 3, implement the 48-hour rule. This is how we fight back against that frictionless economy. You have to actively build your own speed bumps. Retailers spend billions removing friction from your checkout, so you need to put it back. Delete your saved credit card info from Amazon, from Target, from all your web browsers. Having to physically get up, find your wallet, and type in those 16 digits gives your brain time to pause. It creates a mandatory 2-day cooling off period for impulse buys. Actually, if you still want it after 48 hours and it fits your budget, go ahead and buy it. But I guarantee half the time you'll completely forget about it. And step 4 is the ultimate hack: automate your financial peace. The absolute best way to save money is to take your own human willpower completely out of the equation. Set up an automatic transfer. The exact second your paycheck hits your checking account, 10 to 15% should automatically be sent to a separate FDIC-insured high-yield savings account. If you never see that money, you literally won't count on it and you'll naturally adjust your lifestyle to whatever is left. Pay yourself first. Because here is the thing. Plugging these leaks isn't about making massive, painful sacrifices. It fundamentally comes down to the real return on investment. Buying back your time, significantly reducing your daily anxiety, and creating real, tangible options for your future self. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final provocative thought. Which money leak are you plugging this weekend? Are you going to tackle that subscription creep, or are you finally deleting those food delivery apps from your phone? I want you to jump down into the comments and let me know your game plan. Thank you so much for joining me today. Keep building that wealth, and I'll see you in the next explainer.